Before you write a sales letter, email, or a caption, you must do this. A lot of people struggle with writer's block or being a perfectionist. I know I have done this, so I'm going to show you exactly how to break past that barrier and crush it and never have to deal with it again. Because it comes down to really three things overall to break this down. So you need to do these three things to get past your writer's block when you're writing any sales letter or anything like that, because it just makes things so much easier, flow easier, and just make your life a lot easier in general. So before you do anything, before you write anything, if you're writing a sales letter, email, or a post on Facebook, you need to do this. You need to, one, do research. Two, you need an outline / bullet point. That's kind of like a gray area for me on that one. I feel like they could be separate, but I like to put them as one. And then number three is just let go of judgment. So number one, the research is super important because you need to be able to speak and be able to understand how to communicate and have the knowledge to show what you're talking about and get things across that really matter. So the reason this is important because you don't want to just sound factual or anything like that. Like you want to sound conversational if you're explaining anything or sales letter, because it's you don't want to be a pitch man. You want to be like if I was talking to my best friend or talking to my brother or sister or cousin, just explaining something to them. It's just like, oh, it's kind of like this. It's like this. So you got to do like the research. So if you're struggling with research, read books like Power by freaking on the topics of what you're talking about. So like say I'm trying to like write something on persuasion. I'll be like, all right, I want to read Power by freaking Robert Greene. Like, I'll read all his books again about persuasion, the power dynamics and human behavior. But it just shows you the insight of what's happening, and then you're later going to be able to translate that from the way you speak and the way that's in your mind and take it out and be able to push it out and not have to worry about like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? Like I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. It's just having that knowledge in the back of your mind. And then number two, which is the outlining and the bullet points. So for me, what I like to do a lot is I like to do the research on a specific topic. I kind of find an idea or something to talk about or something that's like bothering me, and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this. This is what I'm gonna be talking about. I do my research, but I can't just have like a blank screen. Like it's having that blank screen fucks with everyone. Just having that cursor going back and forth. It's kind of like saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Wait, this is going on YouTube. Can't cuss. But yeah, so like the whole point of that is to just have it where it's the outlining and the bullet points that you're creating is you can kind of like get the core ideas of the research paper you just read or the article. So it's like, to do this, you must do this. Write a quick little bullet point, like to do this, you must do this. Or it's like, how to write fast. You got to do this and this and this. Like just write bullet points. So the next time you come around to it, you'll have like a 5 or 6 to 7, just depending on how much you want. It could be 100. But you have the outline of what to say, bullet points of what to say, and it's kind of just, all you got to do is elaborate on everything. So when you shut down your laptop and you go from there, you'll be able to like, I gotta do this. Okay, cool. Let me just write this all out. Makes things so much easier to go from there and not be screwed over of like facing that writer's block. And then the last one, step number 3, is get rid of judgment. So for me, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Probably some of you are a recovering perfectionist as well, or you are a perfectionist. And don't get me wrong, I love paying to the nitty gritty details. But and trying to write something so beautiful and just get into someone's mind and actually like change the whole, like I could go on forever about that, but or just speaking in general. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because that letting go of the judgment. I'm not saying like, don't worry about this. Like the judgment is what's holding you back from writing. You're over analyzing what's happening. You just need to freaking put the pen on the paper or the Apple Pencil on the iPad. I use Apple Pen iPad and just fucking start writing. Like don't think of anything like, what if I use this? Like, no, just write. And if you feel like you're stuck or anything like that, just keep writing something. Like, look at the bullet points that you have and kind of just elaborate. And you'll be like, okay, I can connect these two and then elaborate on this. It just makes it so much easier to get the juices flowing, the creative flowing. Like, because the hardest thing is to start. Starting is the hardest thing. You want to get that momentum. So those bullet points are just going to help you build that momentum, give you that push, and then when you're writing without judgment, it's just going to keep that snowball effect and keep building and building and building. So it just makes things so much easier. And by the time you know it, you'll be like, oh wow, this is done. Wow, fantastic, I did it. Whoa, look at me. Woo! And it's a great feeling. And the other thing that's really important as well is like, why I'm telling you, don't judgment. It's the first draft. It doesn't matter what it's going to look like. It's going to look nothing like the original product that you created. It's you're just getting stuff out there. Like the genius is in the editing. Like Joseph Sugarman talks about, like legendary copywriter. He's like, look, all you got to do is fucking just get it out there. Get it out. Just get it out. Get it off your head. Get it off your chest. Write it out. And then the genius, the brilliance comes from editing. Editing it makes the brilliant part. So those are the 3 things you need to do before you start writing any type of sales letter, email, email or caption on Instagram or some social media post. You want to do your research first, and then that's step 1. Step 2, you want to get an outline, make up bullet points and stuff like that. And then step number 3, which is just letting go of judgment and just letting go, writing as much as you can. So those are 3 steps. Hope you found this helpful. Have a great day. Wish you all the best.